Dr. Selina Matthews. Doctor, welcome to the show.
I'm thrilled to be here, Bradley.
It's so much fun to have you back.
Thanks for
So,
asking me.
what's going on new in your world?
Well, I'm working on promoting the book and doing some really exciting things. I've got a seminar on love coming. I'm at a yoga studio once a month doing different interesting and unique topics, doing a lot of different things, and I'm really excited.
Really, that's wonderful. Now you've got a speaking on love, aren't you?
I am. It's a topic that everyone wants to know about. And love, Transforming into Love is the name of the seminar. It is going to be September 23rd, and I'm really excited to do it. And I'm trying to have people get into soul love, Bradley.
Soul love?
Soul love.
Is that loving yourself, loving your soul? What's that all about?
No, soul love is, on a really deep level, finding a partner that you are not into chemistry. Not into a chemistry relationship, but into a soul relationship.
Not into a chemistry relationship, but a soul relationship. What's the difference between a chemistry? I mean, everybody's looking for the chemistry, aren't they?
Yeah, the problem with chemistry, Bradley, is chemistry is limited. If you're not really on a soul level, the chemistry will rock you out of this world. And that's what they want. Physical chemistry is not connected to who you are as a human being and is not really a soul journey. And I want people to feel love on a soul level.
You want to feel love on a soul level?
Right, absolutely.
Wow. So what process, what do we go through to get there?
Well, it's quite a process, actually. As you know, we're all looking for love in one way or another, and it's never an easy journey. But, looking at your patterns is one way. Looking at your patterns and trying to find. Oops, I'm losing my headphones. I got them back anyway. But no, trying to actually find the patterns that you get caught in, so that you can move your life forward. What are the love patterns that we all get caught in? If you don't, have self-love, you don't know the love patterns that you're getting caught in, you will have a lot of problems in terms of creating love.
If you don't know the self, if you're not engaging in self-love.
Well, self-love is, if you don't have self-love, Bradley, you can't love anybody else. You can't. Self-love is the underlying essence of having a loving relationship. That's number one. If you don't have that, if you don't love yourself, how can you love somebody else?
Okay, so what's the process? No, let me back up a little bit. How can somebody understand whether they're in self-love or not? What's the key personal acknowledgement that they can have, that whether it is or it isn't? And then the second question is, how can they fix it?
Well, I think the first piece is they have to just ask them the question, do you love yourself? And when I ask people the question, Bradley, most people don't love themselves. They love themselves, but a little bit. Could they all love themselves more? I think we can all love ourselves more. But the action that actually is the action is that we take care of ourselves. We meditate. We are living our life in balance. That the level of self-care, of loving ourselves, needs to be in place. And that's the action step of self-love. It's not only an intellectual thing. There must be an action step in that regard.
So the book is set within 5 stages of soul transformation, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I'm sure that love corresponds with these. So tell me about them.
Well, absolutely. I mean, love is the essence of the soul. I really believe that this, soul wants us all to have true love. And I think the more connected we are to soul, the more connected we are to being on our own life path, our destiny, and our journey. A lot of people who come into my practice are looking for love. They're in bad relationships or they're in dysfunctional relationships. I would say as we move through the stages of soul transformation, you're getting to, stage 4, which is deconstructing your illusions, which is people have all these illusions about love. And that's the stage I'm actually working with people on love. And one of the things, Bradley, is we all have patterns of love that came from the initial God and Goddess in our life, which is our mother and father. And when I ask people, do they want to have the relationship, the love relationship that their parents had, 99% lift their hand
No,
and say absolutely
yeah,
not.
absolutely
They don't
not,
want
right.
that relationship.
Right.
But yet that's the pattern, that's
That's
the
what they know.
imprint.
That's what's embedded
Right,
in them.
but they
Yeah.
don't even know that's embedded. It's just like a fish doesn't know they're swimming in water. So the first job is to get clear about that and look at those patterns of their parents, how they infiltrate their own life. And that's self-knowledge. And the more self-knowledge you have about yourself, the more possibility and potentiality you have about love.
Oh, that's fantastic. So is that the first of your 5 stages?
No, the first stages of soul transformation is actually the awakening of the soul at birth. And then the second stage is the stirring of the soul. And that happens anywhere between 18 and 30.
What does that mean, the stirring of the soul? Does that mean mixing everything up? Shaking the tree?
Well,
What is that?
shaking the tree, absolutely. Tell me, Bradley, has there been a time in your life between 18 and 30 something where you went, my life is not working? It's something
Oh, yeah, many times.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, that's
When
called...
when I was sober enough to acknowledge that, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is about, that is stirring of the soul. The soul, I believe it is the soul telling you that you're on the wrong path. And you've got to make some changes. You can choose to make those changes or not to make those
You need to
changes.
live in the fear of the faith. You need to either live in the fear of the faith, hang out in the pain, or get into the solution.
Correct.
Right.
So exactly, beautifully put. I like how you did that.
Well,
that was great, Bradley. So yes, so that's stage 2. It's a stirring. People don't come to see me because they're happy and their lives are working. Believe me,
Yeah.
people come to see me because their souls are stirring.
Right, because they're in so much pain that they're looking for an answer to fix this.
Absolutely. Yeah, the third stage of soul transformation is the spiritual aspect. There's three different pieces, and one is numinous experiences. And numinous experiences, it's a term that's not that familiar.
No, tell me what numinous means.
Okay. It's in Jungian psychology.
Uh-huh.
So it is when you have an experience that has the divinity of God in it. It takes you out of your mundane world into a completely new world. And Carl Jung actually said one numinous experience is equal to 2 years of therapy. So let's hope that we everybody out there in your listening audience has a numinous experience,
And
because they'll save a lot of money.
This is one that takes you out of this world, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where's the line for this? Is there a store for these?
I wish there was, because I think it would be the best store in the world. And these happened unexpectedly. These happen, they just emerge and erupt out of our psychic space. So that's how come they're called numinous, because you don't know, you can't will
Right.
these things to happen. They just happen. I had another girl, another patient come in and say, I don't know, and she just started therapy, and and with me, and she said, I don't know, I had this weird experience. I was walking on the street, and then, I don't know, I just fell down. It's like this energy pushed me down on the ground, and I started squirming, and I thought the sky was going to fall on top of me, and then I felt that the star was communicating with me, and then I got so weird. I thought I was going to let it, my guts were just
Right,
pushing
right.
everything out. I didn't know what was happening. She said, for a moment, I thought I was going to die, but I
Wow.
didn't die. And then all of a sudden it was over. And what I want you to know, after that experience, her entire life changed. She not only changed jobs, she changed careers, everything changed. She changed her boyfriend. Poof, everything moved on in a completely different, it was like something in that experience dialed in a different frequency, and she went in a different direction. And a much better, a much healthier direction. It was really an extraordinary. It can happen. It can happen anywhere, anytime, any place. Numinous experiences are extraordinary.
Okay, what's the difference between a numinous experience and a spiritual experience?
Okay, a spiritual experience, in the way that I look at it, because I really had to break this down.
Yeah, that's why I ask, because you would think they're one and the same.
Right, but the reason spiritual experiences, a lot of people have spiritual practices that they do. They're Buddhist, they're Hindu, they're Native
Whatever
American.
religious avenue to
Yeah.
spirit they're taking,
Yeah.
they're on that path.
Yeah, they're on that path, and it's a great path, because I believe all religions, Christianity, Judaism, whatever it is, they have a path to divinity, to have extraordinary experiences, but they have a set path to do that. It doesn't happen unexpected. It may happen unexpectedly in their practices, but the years and years of practices are like drills connecting us to the divinity within the soul in an inner world and the outer world.
Wow. So to have a spiritual experience is to get enlightened from within, as opposed to see and hear or feel something on the outside?
Well, I'm not exactly sure if you can say, because the inner world reflects the outer world, so
Right.
it would be connected both ways. It would be a time when the inner and outer divinity are connected at that time.
Okay, well, both of these things seem to be miraculous experience. So now you got to explain this one to me.
Well, I'm glad I'm here to explain this to
I
you,
am so
Bradley. I'm
excited.
thrilled to explain this to you. Miraculous experiences are where there's a change.
Oh, so these miraculous experiences is a third part or another part of this thing?
Yeah, there's three pieces: numinous, spiritual, and miraculous.
Wow.
And miraculous are very cool, because there's a change in the condition or the element, okay? And I'm going to give you an example.
Right.
Someone goes from HIV positive to HIV negative.
Right.
Someone says, doctor says you'll never walk again. They walk again. That is a miraculous experience.
That's amazing.
Another miraculous experience would be, this is more common in, Eastern traditions,
Right.
where the guru will come and, one perfect example is one of my clients came in and said, my guru asked me to come in and sit down and meet with him. And so he showed me a rose, and he said, "What is this?" And she said, "A rose."
It's a rose.
Yeah.
It's a
So
flower.
he put it in his hand, and he's squishing it in his hand. And so he asked her, "What was it?" She looked at him, and he said, "A squished rose."
Right.
And then he opened it, and the rose wasn't there. It was a black lingam, which is a healing stone in the Eastern tradition. Now, that is a miraculous experience, because the element actually changes. It's, in the realm of magic in some ways. But these things happen, and these are extraordinarily powerful. And you and I both know spiritual people who can actually make these changes happen.
I do know the people that have had the spiritual experiences, like myself, the numinous experiences and the miraculous experiences, and some people have had all of them.
Yes.
But your next step is deconstructing your illusions. Don't we have to deconstruct our illusions before we can get the spiritual, numinous, and miraculous?
Some people have these experiences early in life. That's why I had to, when I made the stages, some of these stages can come concurrently.
Right.
But I wanted to explain that first, because if someone is age 8 and has an experience that alters their life, well, you know what I mean? So
right.
I just wanted...
They don't need to get all that messed up before they get the experience. Right?
Correct. I mean, the experiences
Just some of us
come.
had to get real messed up before we...
That's true, Bradley. Some of us had to get really messed up, but that's life, and it's part of our journeys
Exactly.
and our lessons,
Okay.
and everything is perfect,
right?
No matter how it unfolds.
Exactly. I agree. So tell us about that very fact about deconstructing the illusion.
Well, illusions
and the action that it takes to do that.
Well, the illusions come from the software. I believe that the programming, yeah. The hardware, I believe, in my book is the hardware. The hardware is the soul.
Let's get into this when we come back. Her name's Dr. Selina Matthews, author of Transformation: Engaging the Invisible Actor Within. www.selinamatthews.com. That's selinamatthews.com.